Okay, this is the last in the series of streaming for now. Anyway, we've been doing streaming with OBS, getting the sound into Reaper, and then sending it across to OBS, where it gets combined with the video from the webcam, and together they go up to somewhere like Facebook or YouTube. There are some occasions when you need an actual device. You need to fool whatever you're streaming to that you've actually got a microphone, because remember that OBS is using a stream key to send it up, so it's actually it's sending a stream, a combined stream. But for something like Zoom or Facebook video conferencing, or probably Skype, you need to give it a webcam and you need to give it a mic. So this is what we're going to do. The webcam goes into Zoom. The sound will go into Reaper. That will be our mixer. And then we'll use a new Reaper plugin called Reroute, which will go into another VB audio, sort of basically free, but you can give a donation software called VB HiFi cable. And then that will go into Zoom. So we don't need OBS anymore. So I can shut down that. So what tool will be downloading? We'll download Reaper. Some of this I know I did before, and it's kind of redoing stuff. You just need to make sure it's got the optional functionality, and in optional functionality it's got the reroute ASIO driver, which is what we're going to be using to bridge the sound from Reaper into Zoom. Yeah, we can get that running. And just to go back, the other things we're going to be using, we downloaded before the Melder plugins, which has our free reverb and our free auto pitch and things like that. And we're going to download this thing called the HiFi cable and audio ASIO bridge, which is from VB Audio. Before, we used this thing called the VB cable, which has a dummy input basically for OBS. But this time we need a thing called the ASIO bridge, which you download here. It's donationware, so it's free, but if you give a donation, it stops a little nagging screen that comes up. So it's basically free if you want it to be free. Okay, back into Reaper. So let's check our device. And it finds my UMC ASIO driver, which is the driver for the Behringer interface box I've got here. If I had a Focusrite, it would say Focusrite USB. If I had a USB mic, I'd want the USB mic in there. Just check the configuration and the ASIO configuration. My buffers are 128, which is the right sort of number, 128 or 64. This is to keep the latency, the delay, low in the processing of the sound, so that what you hear in your headphones isn't unduly delayed. There's always going to be some slight delay, which will sound like echo actually, but it is a slight delay. So we want to keep that to the minimum, and also we want to make sure that the sound is going off to Facebook or to Zoom as soon as it can. So keeping that buffers low. If you give it too low, the sound starts to break up. So I think 128 is a good value for streaming. So let's put a track in. I have two mics. I have one for my mainly vocal, and I have one for mainly guitar. I'm double clicking to produce a track. So the guitar mic is down by my waist. Show the master track. Just make sure these things are armed. So input monitor, that's input 1, which is where my vocal mic is. So I'll arm that. And this one, just make sure it's to input 2, which is the the mic that's down by my waist for the guitar. So that's for input 2. And we're armed that. So here we are. That's for the guitar mic. And that's for the vocal mic. Show the master track, right click, but show the master track. Oh, it's already on. Okay, so one thing I want to, this is the FX for the master track, this little FX button up here. One thing I need to do, which you don't need to do, is I need to put the Melder recorder on. This is just so that you can hear what I can hear in my headphones. Okay, so that's recording that. Okay, so now we have a basic bare bones Reaper system. I'm looking at the levels and I'm thinking the mic's looking a bit high, so I'll just turn that down. I've got some dials on the Behringer here so that the inputs aren't quite so hot. Okay, so that looks more or less okay. Let's put some sound effects on. So on the guitar, let's use the Re-EQ is the Reaper EQ. Yeah, Reaper's own EQ. So we can make that close mic acoustic, sounds like something for the guitar. Then we can add a little bit of reverb on the guitar, not too much. M-Charm Verb is the one I've used for Melder. Get a preset, white trail. 10%, that gives me 10%. You can see here it's a 10%. The 10% reverb is enough for the guitar, I think. Let's look at the vocal, which is going to be more interesting. Add the EQ. Give it, what was I called? The preset was the wide male vocal. We're going to use auto pitch just to be extreme, just to sort of give you the extremes, what you can do with this. So let's put that in. That's at 50%, so it'll correct me about half. So if you look at the brown, which is the raw sound, and the green, which is the process sound, if I give it a note, it'll probably correct about half of it. La, see, it half corrects. If I put it full, la, it clicks it bang on, which sounds a bit robotic. 50% is masses of autotune. You would normally, I mean, I normally use like 20 just to sort of, it turns a totally lousy note into just a slightly rough note. Anyway, put that on and put the reverb on. Preset, I like the white trail one. And here I'm going to put this up to 50%, which is a lot of reverb. But just to almost like to overdo it so you can see what you can do. Okay, I'll just turn off the reverb for a second and the auto pitch. Right, so last time we were using something called Restream as an FX plugin that threw the sound over to OBS, and we use the same plugin in OBS to sort of suck the sound in. We haven't got that option this time, so we go into the routing, which is on the master track. So I'm using the default theme for Reaper. If you were using a different theme, this might be in a different place. So let's see what what routing we would give it. If we click into routing, what this tells us is there's already one route or one route in there, which is the hardware 1 and 2, which is essentially my little interface box down here. So that's how the sound's getting to my headphones. So it always comes with one output route anyway. That's just what you get. But we want to add another one, which is going to be a reroute one, which reroute is another little kind of plugin for Reaper. So add another one, and we can add in reroute 1 and 2. I managed to click the wrong one, so I'll delete that one. Reroute 1 and 2. There it is, reroute 1 and 2. So now, what you don't perhaps obviously realise is that the sound is, in addition, it's going out to my headphones through output 1 and 2, but it's also going out to reroute 1 and 2, which is not actually going anywhere at the moment, but it's just sort of available in the system. Okay, so that's it. HiFi audio cable. So you install a HiFi audio cable and load it up, get it running, and it will pick up. I'll just turn it off, but if you turn the ASIO on, it will pick up the reroute ASIO driver. If it doesn't, just have a look what's available in the list, and reroute ASIO should be there. And you know, I can see it's picking up because I can see the bar moving. So my sound is now successfully coming out of Reaper, and it's going into the VB Audio ASIO bridge, which I keep running. So it's down here running in my taskbar, chugging away. And now I can go into Zoom. So let's turn the FX on, and let's put something into Zoom. I'm recording this downstairs, so on another computer, but just booting up Zoom. Okay, so there's the downstairs that's doing the recording. I'll record it on this computer as well, just so by contrast we can see. Okay, so this has got all the FX on. I need a capo. There she sits on Buttermilk Hill. Oh, who could blame her for crying? I just realised I've probably forgotten to do something. Need to check that it's using the HiFi cable as the input. Okay, let's. There she sits on Buttermilk Hill. Oh, who could blame her for crying her fill? Every tear would turn a mill. Johnny has gone for a soldier. Okay, and by way of contrast, so you can see the difference, I'm going to turn off the FX, and we can see what it would sound like without any FX in Zoom. There she sits on Buttermilk Hill. Oh, who could blame her for crying her fill? Every tear would turn a mill. Johnny has gone for a soldier. Okay, so that was going to Zoom. So I'll leave that Zoom meeting, and we'll see what it would sound like. I think this is what it sounds like in Zoom. There's kind of two ways I can check this. I'm going to check it on this computer, see what Zoom thinks it sent, and I'll check it on the computer downstairs, which is what went over the internet, came back again, and got recorded. So this is what I think is going through to Zoom. Computer as well, just so by contrast we can see. Okay, so this has got all the FX on. I need a capo. There she sits on Buttermilk Hill. Oh, who could blame her for crying? I just realised I've probably forgotten to do something. Need to check that it's using the HiFi cable as the input. Okay, let's. There she sits on Buttermilk Hill. Oh, who could blame her for for crying her fill. Every tear would turn a mill. Johnny has gone for a soldier. Okay, and by way of contrast, so you can see the difference, I'm going to turn off the FX and we can see what it would sound like without any FX in Zoom. There she sits on Buttermilk Hill. Oh, who could blame her for crying her fill? Every tear would turn a mill. Johnny has gone for a soldier. Okay, so that was going to Zoom. Okay, so this was what was recorded at the other end of this Zoom transmission on the other computer. There she sits on Buttermilk Hill. Oh, who could blame her for crying? I just realised I've probably forgotten to do something. Need to check that it's using the HiFi cable as the input. Okay, let's. There she sits on Buttermilk Hill. Oh, who could blame her for crying her fill? Every tear would turn a mill. Johnny has gone for a soldier. Okay, and by way of contrast, so you can see the difference, I'm going to turn off the FX and we can see what it would sound like without any FX in Zoom. There she sits on Buttermilk Hill. Oh, who could blame her for crying her fill? Every tear would turn a mill. Johnny has gone for a soldier. All right, that was Zoom then. So let's try the same thing, but going into Facebook. So we don't need that anymore. Let's get Facebook up and running and go to my home page. And I'm going to go live video. And it loads up this page, which we're quite familiar with seeing now. We've been using a stream key with OBS for this, but this time it's going to use the camera. Bang, it's found the camera, that's good. Now you really have to watch this. It's put the Behringer as the input box, as its input. That's my kind of interface box here. And it needs to be the HiFi audio cable. And it's such an easy trap that to forget to do that. Okay, so now I'm ready to go live. I haven't got any effects on because I turned them off, if you remember. Let's turn them on in Reaper. So we're fully effected up, and let's go live into Facebook. There she sits on Buttermilk Hill. Oh, who could blame her for crying her fill? Every tear would turn a mill. Johnny has gone for a soldier. Okay, so that was with effects on, a lot of effects on, 50% auto pitch, 50% reverb. Normally those would be like 20% each. So I'm going to turn off the effects now, just to hear, so you, by contrast, so you can hear what it's like with no effects going to Facebook. There she sits on Buttermilk Hill. Oh, who would blame her for crying her fill? Every tear would turn a mill. Johnny has gone for a soldier. Okay, and let's have a little look and see what went through to Facebook. There she sits on Buttermilk Hill. Oh, who could blame her for crying her fill? Every tear would turn a mill. Johnny has gone for a soldier. Okay, so that was with effects on, a lot of effects on, 50% auto pitch, 50% reverb. Normally those would be like 20% each. So I'm going to turn off the effects now, just to hear, so you, by contrast, so you can hear what it's like with no effects going to Facebook. There she sits on Buttermilk Hill. Oh, who would blame her for crying her fill? Every tear would turn a mill. Johnny has gone for a soldier. Okay, so that just about wraps up this video. So what we've done, that was, oh, I can't show you because I haven't got my camera on. Basically, that concludes this series where we started off going straight into Facebook with nothing, just a camera and a mic, and we went into OBS. We started using effects with OBS and actually streaming a combined stream to Facebook. And finally, in this video, we looked at the scenario where you can't actually stream to the platform you're going for because it's not a streaming platform, it's a video conferencing platform like Zoom. And we use the VB HiFi cable and ASIO bridge just to bridge the sound out of Reaper, which I think works really well, and it means you can get good sound on whatever platform you're using. Okay, that just sums up the video. Thanks so much.